Leeds United, Leeds.
Yeah, they won 3-2, but
Beat
these
Leeds
guys have a
United.
problem. They're losing Champions League games. They're losing a lot of games, and they're struggling defensively. And it's
And they're
clear to me that
conceding goals. They're conceding a
yeah,
lot of goals.
they have injuries right now. Rodri's injured, Kovacic is injured, so they don't have a true um, CDM. Also, even without that, ideally they should have Tijani Reiners,
Yeah.
Rodri, and Foden or Silva in their midfield. With those three, they have a complete midfield. And Rodri plays so well. Rodri is almost like two midfielders at the same time.
So,
If you
so
have three midfielders and you have Rodri, it's almost like you have four. That's how much space he covers because he's able to track back with the ball deep and still go forward again and attack. Not having him is messing up their options in midfield, and that's why they're giving up a lot of goals because teams can run through their midfield. And Johnny Reinders is a very creative player. Silver is creative too. Foden is a hybrid midfielder. So not having all of these guys unified, I think, is what's causing their problem. And Rodri is irreplaceable. But at least if Rodri is not there, you need to have Kovacic. And I think that's the whole thing for their season. If they get Rodri back or even Kovacic and Foden can be healthy and Reinders can be healthy, they can still be a top three team in the league and even win the championship. But the problem is that that team has always been built off of the CDM, and that's what's hurting them. What do you think, Falabi?
yeah, absolutely. They've relied largely on Rodri's qualities for a very long time. Without Rodri in the team, Man City loses balance. Without him, they don't control games or transitions. I mean, Rodri is a
Yeah.
typical modern hybrid midfielder. He sits in front of the back four, breaks up play, intercepts line breaking passes, and he sets the tempo of the game. So you have so many quality fused in one. And like you said, he's irreplaceable. But if at least they had Kovacic, Kovacic would at least,
Yeah.
make the blow of not having Rodri a little bit better. But Kovacic too is down with a
Yeah.
long injury, and they
Hmm.
don't have any player like him. And Nico Gonzalez is young and inexperienced. Although he's trying,
Yeah.
but he's not as consistent as Rodri and Kovacic. So, and that's the problem with Man City. They don't play through the middle anymore. What they do is once they get the ball, they try to spray it to Doku or one of the wide players and bypass the midfield
Yeah, and
because they
here's the thing:
want
once
their
they have
legs to
Rodri
spread.
and Reinders, Rodri and Reinders can give them, even though Rodri's a CDM. Once you have Reinders there and Foden who can drift, it's going to give them a central. Also, danger on the flanks and in the middle, and then you have Doku on the right, who usually should be playing on their left wing. Um,
It's usually there's this Brazilian that plays for them. I've forgotten his name. It's either him or sometimes Foden. Sometimes Foden.
Foden, yeah, but the idea is that, to be honest with you, they tend to lean more to the right. You get my point on their
Yeah,
attacking. They
yeah,
have to
because
address their left.
yeah,
They have to address their left side also, but that's not the big problem because even sometimes what's his name Doku can sometimes go left, but I think
yeah.
their real issue is is like you said they're not able to central, and even though they still have possession, it comes at the cost of attack. So sometimes when they overload the midfield, then they lose attacking power. But if once they get Raji back and they have Raji with Reinders and Foden, now they can start to use guys like Doku and stuff as decoys or as people who can tuck in and create a dynamic attack where you can see Reinders going forward. And then on top of that, when you have what's his name what's the name of their striker, the number nine, Haaland.
Erling
With Haaland,
Haaland.
yeah, these guys are deadly. But Haaland, did he play today?
He played. Haaland played
But
today.
yeah, yeah, but he was non-existent because they couldn't get the ball. They couldn't get the ball to him because of their. I mean, even though they won, I'm just saying they won very. It was very difficult for them to win today. So Haaland can't do it by himself because Haaland is also good at falling into space and creating space for Doku. But that can't work for you every game,
Yeah,
especially if you don't have depth and your players get tired. You know.
yeah.
So and they usually do that against lesser teams. But I really believe that if they had even Kovacic, once they solve that CDM problem, these guys can go toe to toe with Arsenal and Chelsea. It's just that it might be too late now. They need to start looking at maybe getting Rodri very healthy after the World Cup and make a run for it next year. I still think they can do it this year, but it's going to be very difficult. Arsenal is going to have to lose form, and now that Arsenal has what's his name as a central guy, that's crazy, man. Because now Arsenal's they have the best defense. Because we know City's defense is not that great either. Arsenal has the best defense. They've got Declan Rice, who's a fantastic physical CDM. And then they've got his complement, Eze, who's a creative forward guy. And then they've got Saka. So right now, Arsenal is a very complete team, man. That team. So for and we know that if City wants to beat Arsenal, City is going to have to rely on possession and their midfield and defensive, and keep the game low and try to get a goal. Like if they played Arsenal, just get a lone goal by Holland. So I think that City has better ball control in midfield because Declan Rice doesn't hold the ball. What he does is that he's physical and disruptive so that they can get the ball to the forwards and the wings. But the way Arsenal plays, it's not so much that they hold the ball in the midfield. What do you think? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Arsenal tend to play through the flanks. They don't
Yeah.
spend too much time with the ball, but they have the security of Declan Rice. And Arsenal
Yeah.
are very strong defensively. And for a title-winning team, you lay the foundation from the defense, which Man City
Yeah.
doesn't have. Man City is conceding far too many goals. They need
Yeah.
a proper CDM, either Rodri or Kovacic, to sit in front of the back four and
Yeah.
shield the defense. And if you look at the
Yeah.
difference between Arsenal and Man City, it's just the fact that Arsenal has conceded fewer goals. They are conceding fewer
Yeah.
goals, and that has given them the platform to be able to score and win games without conceding.
Yeah. Yeah. And they
Yes,
have a little bit more stability, a better
and they have a
spine.
little bit more stability. And like you said,
Actually, to be honest, Declan Rice is the most important player on Arsenal.
sure, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
He's the most important player.
irreplaceable. He has
Yeah.
energy. He can run. He can defend. And he's
Yeah.
very physical. So
He's not as good a passer as Rodri.
no, 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 no.
Yeah,
He's
but
not very
yeah.
cute in passing, but he's very, very physical, and that
Yeah.
helps them. They have a balance in midfield that I don't think too many teams have. They have the guile of
Yeah.
Eze, the defensive nous of
Yeah.
Declan Rice, and they have Merino as well as
Yeah.
Zubimendi and all these guys. So I think they have a very balanced team.
They're very, very balanced. All right, so take us out.
It's been another brilliant football show. We've been discussing Man City and their problems in the midfield and how Rodri's absence and Kovacic's long-term injury has affected their consistency both in Europe and in England. And from Mustafa and myself, we're back again with another Premier League review.
Okay, good. Take it off of record, then we'll talk.
Okay.
Gossip hour.